Okay, let's dive into a habit that's so simple, you might just brush it off. But its power, it's huge. We're talking about monthly reflection. Think of it as the user manual for the most complex and important machine you'll ever own, your own mind. So let's start with a question, and I want you to really think about this for a second. What changed in your thinking this month? Go on, pause if you need to. What actually shifted in how you see things over the last 30 days or so? If you can come up with something, anything, well, you're already on the right track. That's what intentional growth feels like. And that's really the heart of the problem, isn't it? Your brain is always changing. I mean, every single day you're having new experiences, forming new opinions. It's constantly adapting. But if you never actually stop to notice how it's changing, then any growth you experience is just accidental. It's not on purpose. All right, so why does this whole looking back thing actually work so well? You might be thinking it's just some feel-good self-help trick. But nope, there's some really cool science going on inside your head when you do this. And this part is so important. Reflection is not the same as just daydreaming or letting your mind wander. No, it's an active, focused mental workout. When you sit down to reflect, you are literally lighting up a very specific, very powerful part of your brain. So what is this part of the brain? It's called the prefrontal cortex. And you can think of it like the CEO of your brain. Seriously, it's the part that handles all the big picture stuff. Planning for the future, understanding who you are, making those really conscious choices. So when you reflect, you're basically calling the CEO into the corner office for a strategy meeting about you. So here's the bottom line. It's pretty simple, really. Just like lifting weights at the gym builds muscle, this act of deliberate reflection actually strengthens your prefrontal cortex. You're literally training your brain to be more self-aware, to be more intentional. It's a mental workout, plain and simple. Okay, that's the why. We get it. It's like a workout for the brain. But what about the how? How do you actually do it? Well, the great news is it all comes down to this super simple method you can start using right now. It's just 3 questions. That's it. First up, what improved in your mindset? Here you're looking for the wins, no matter how small they seem. Second, what drained your energy? This is where you get honest about the stuff that wore you out. Could be people, tasks, whatever. And third, what do you want to change next month? This is about setting a simple, clear intention moving forward. Now, that first question, I know what you're thinking. Mindset improvement? It sounds kind of vague, maybe even a little intimidating. But here's the secret. It's almost always found in the really small, everyday moments. Like maybe you had one of those days at work, the kind where you'd normally feel totally overwhelmed. But this time, for whatever reason, you just took a deep breath and got through it. Yep, that's it. That's a mindset improvement. Or how about this? Think of a tricky conversation you had. We all have them. Did you maybe pause for just a split second before jumping in with your usual reaction? That tiny little pause, that is growth. That's exactly the kind of stuff you're looking for. It could even be something as simple as reading an article or hearing something in a talk that just clicked, and suddenly you saw an old problem in a totally new way. That little shift in perspective, that's a huge win for your mindset. And see, this really gets to the core of it all. I think we're all guilty of looking for these massive, life-changing transformations. But real growth, it's usually just a bunch of these tiny, almost invisible shifts added up over time. The whole point of reflection is just to help you notice them, and once you notice them, they become real. So what happens if you actually stick with this? You do it month after month. Well, that's when the magic really happens. You start to get the long-term payoff, which is seeing the invisible patterns, the subconscious scripts that are basically running your life. After just a few months, you start connecting the dots. Suddenly, you'll see it clear as day, what activities actually fire you up and which ones just completely drain you. You'll start to pinpoint the exact situations or people that trigger your stress or frustration. You're not just guessing anymore. You're working with cold, hard data about yourself. Which leads us to this really powerful idea. It's so simple. You can't fix what you can't see. And spotting these patterns isn't about beating yourself up over them. Not at all. It's just about gaining the awareness you need so you can eventually, take control of your own reactions. All right, so we've covered the why and the how. Now it's time to put it all into practice. Let's make this real with a super simple challenge to help turn this whole idea into an actual habit. 30, just 30 days. That's all it takes. Think of it as your first data gathering mission on how your own mind really works. And listen, don't go crazy trying to track everything. That's a recipe for failure. Just pick one thing. Seriously, just one. Maybe it's that feeling of procrastination that always creeps in, or a specific negative thought that you have on repeat, or hey, even a good habit you're trying to build. For the next 30 days, your only job is to notice when it pops up and maybe jot it down. Then, when the 30 days are up, just take a few minutes to look back at what you noticed. You'll start to see it all, the triggers, how often it happens, the patterns. I'm telling you, the aha moment you'll get from this one little exercise, it's going to surprise you. So just remember this. The goal here isn't just to be a passive observer of your own thoughts. The real magic is that the simple act of noticing, that moment of awareness, is the first step of transformation. That's the real power of hitting pause and reflecting once a month.